My name is Sean Schwartzman, and I am the founder, president of Potter's House. Housing's going crazy in Northwest Arkansas. People need something affordable, and we're seeing that in Potter's House. We're watching as families definitely can't afford to buy, maybe even can't afford to rent. It's just a huge burden, and I think a lot of us would also put it in a justice issue, something that God deeply cares about, that people we love, people in our community need this.
I'm Jim Hall. I'm the co-directional leader of New Heights Church in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And one of the things that I believe that God asks us to do as members of the body of Christ is reach out to those in need in our community. And certainly housing is a basic need that people have, and there was a shortage of it.
Hi, I'm Felicia Conley. I am one of the first residents to move into Cobblestone Community Farms. The last place I lived in, I lived there for 9 years last month. It was impossible with the amount that I was paying in rent and utilities and caring for my 2 children to be able to move. Everywhere required making 3 times the rent, a credit check, let me see, first and last month move in plus the deposit, and that just made it impossible for me to be able to move, which was really needed considering the conditions of what my place was and having 2 young children.
It's hard on working parents that are working 1 and 2 jobs. When you are struggling with housing, it impacts everything. When housing is an issue, when you care about your family, it's hard to focus on much else. And so to realize that that is something that's going on with our neighbors and our friends and people that our kids are going to school with, people that are very involved in Potter's House and go to New Heights Church. And that's something that should not only break our hearts emotionally, but should motivate us to want to change and want to impact in some way.
And in 2019, I think it was in the summer of 2019, Sean Schwartzman approached me and asked me if New Heights would consider using some of their land to build affordable housing on. I already knew there was an incredible need for affordable housing in Fayetteville. It was actually crisis level and still is crisis level. I agreed to approach the elders of our church, the decision makers, and ask them if they would consider it. New Heights had a history at that point of doing things like that in the community, and so I thought it fit right in our wheelhouse.
My name's Debbie England, and I'm a member of New Heights. I'm moving in here to Cobblestone, the farm community. I remember back in the day when we were gifted the land, and the thought was that this would end up being a church plant, that we would have a building here. And the elders and the pastors and the leadership just felt like that wasn't the best fit for what we needed. And yet there was this amazing vision for what can we do to make the most for Fayetteville and the people who live here and the people we serve. And so it started out with the Cobblestone Farm, which is an incredible thing. I can see the bees right over there. I'm so excited about that. But to see how a housing development where people could afford to live, the people that we've ministered to over many years would have a place that they could call stable and home, and that they would feel like they could be part of something bigger, whether they came to church with us or not, it didn't matter. It was about the vision of the people in our leadership that I am so grateful for. But I remember thinking about this land, what are they gonna do? How's it gonna, I never thought I would live here. But I am so excited that they had that vision for the future.
Man, everybody realizes there's this problem. New Heights has this land, and I continue to sing the praises of New Heights that they're willing to use their land for the good of people in the community. And so Potter's House with New Heights, with Accelerate Foundation, which was Endeavor, we started these conversations, and all the details come together.
The financing and the legalities of all that were incredibly complex and complicated, as evidenced by the fact it took us about 6 years to get it done. After 3 years of collaboration and really hard work by 4 nonprofits, I'll name them: Accelerate Foundation, the New Heights Church, Cobblestone, and Potter's House, and Strategic Realty, not a nonprofit, but an experienced developer, and with the blessings and favor of God on this project, we are here finally at a groundbreaking, beginning the fulfillment of a dream that we all share, of providing desperately needed affordable housing for, in this case, 300 to 400 people who will be living in this community soon. We're also providing, probably just as important, a model for churches and other faith-based organizations to work together with secular nonprofits, with friendly developers, with local lending institutions, and federal and local government organizations to make a huge difference in communities across the region and hopefully across the nation.
Fast forward and there's 90 affordable housing units that are truly affordable. I mean, $400, $500, $700 for really new, wonderful places. And so we get to this point and we see there is a solution to this problem that our community is experiencing, and it's a wonderful solution.
Emotional about this. This is 5 months of being homeless, so much graciousness from my church body. It's just been overwhelming. I have people who have helped me in ways I had no idea.
All our stuff.
Hey, call my name.
Man.
Go right in there. Okay, right here? Yeah. Yep.
Inside, there's a closet inside the bathroom. I don't know if you have one there. Lunge in the doors.
Seriously, we can take the legs off too if we need to. But
In there. You can put it in here.
okay.
I'm in the middle of some triplexes. I'm across the street from some great little houses and duplexes. It looks a little messy right now, but come along soon and I will show you some flowers and wonderful things. So, but this is just one of many here. There's lots of options. There's single families and apartments and even 4-bedroom places for whole families to live, which I think is just incredible. And I am so excited, first of all, that there's a ton of people inside my house ready to help me, which is such the heart of New Heights. But I'm more excited because I have new neighbors, and I have neighbors that may know Jesus and some who may not. But I'm so excited to get to know them and to break bread with them and to plant flowers and play games and learn more about Jesus together. Just overwhelmed with the love that I feel from the people in our church.
I was talking to a couple families the other day that have already moved in, and it's life-changing for them. They're living next door to some of their best friends. Their kids love it. The rent is super affordable. This is something that will, for decades and decades, change families' lives in our community. And those are the families that are living there. And then we're going to see over the next 6 months another 50 families move into this community. Potter's House is committed to coming alongside families and not just letting it be a normal neighborhood, but build community, build relationships, let the community get invested into our programs, into other community programs, and be a part of seeing a really, really sweet community there.
My name is Julie Seegers. I ended up here because of my best friend, Alicia. She got me started with Potter's House. So me and my kids started going to Potter's House, and then we heard about Cobblestone, so we signed up as well. I came from a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, which was about $200 more than what I'm paying currently. But I had help from people in the community And now we're here, we're moved in. The move here is actually going to be kind of life-changing for myself and my children. Just being able to have affordable rent is taking stress away from my normal everyday life that I've had for the last few years. My rent has gone down significantly, which is going to enable my children and I to be able to have like a little bit of financial freedom and not have to stress and worry about how bills or food or whatever is going to be paid. Give me a little leeway to take them to do fun things. I'll also be able to save money living here, which is a huge thing for me because before I wasn't. It's really peaceful and quiet. And I feel like it's going to be a safe place for our children to live in, which where I came from, it was still semi-iffy. So this is nice to be able to be in a community of people that are different, but kind of the same.
So just knowing people here, I'm already out of the house more than what I was before. And yeah, I love that for my kids. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for all of us. And just the financial stability that it's going to bring to all these families. And hopefully this will inspire other people to give back to their community.
So to see the farm, to see Potter's House being on the land, to see families, it is a beautiful, holistic community that is coming together. It's going to be really neat to watch it over decades.
It's also a model for other nonprofits and churches and for-profits to follow of ways to bless their communities by doing things like this to help those in need that just can't afford housing in Northwest Arkansas and across the United States. And I want to thank the people of New Heights Church for allowing me personally to invest significant hours of my time in this project. First of all, thank you. And thank you, New Heights Church, for allowing your elders to donate land that was given probably when it was given, the donor was thinking would someday become a church. And we hope to build a chapel out on the land in the future that the church can use for weddings and funerals and things like that. But first we built affordable housing, and the church allowed us to do that. And I want to thank the people of New Heights for their giving that allows us to do not only this project, but other things like this. And so thank you. This is loving people tangibly. This is what it's all about. This is Matthew 25. This is the parable of the sheep and the goats. This is Jesus being Jesus through his church to people in need. This is what a church should be doing. It's not all a church should be doing, but it's certainly one of the things a church should be doing. And there's another way of saying this too. This is also loving God passionately, because God connects us loving people in his name with loving him. He identifies with those in need especially. So this is a way of expressing love to God by simply being obedient to his commandment to care for those in need.